you doing?
Fine.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. What day is it?
It's late. We're recording late. It's Tuesday of the week of the recording.
Tuesday. Oh.
Tuesday. It's always Tuesday now.
So last week, our child number 1 turned 23. And
I don't want to talk about it.
for those people out there that are 23 or have a 23-year-old, whew.
It's pretty crazy, right?
Yeah. And then he did some digging around. He's like, my brain isn't even done growing yet. I have 2 more years before I'm fully solidified human. And I was like, oh, okay. I had 2 kids by the time I was 25.
And you just letting them dive down that rabbit hole and you joined them.
Yeah. I was spooked out for sure because I had 2 kids by the time I was 25. By the time my brain stopped growing,
I had one kid by the time I was 25 because I'm older. I'm quite a bit older than you.
Yeah.
I'm an ancient gentleman from the future.
And so he wanted pie for his birthday dessert.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, well, there's lots of different kinds of pies. Let's try one that everyone will like. Because fruit pies are kind of hit and miss with, most of us like them. Some of us don't.
Well,
so
I want to, you're talking about me not liking them.
No. Also kid number 4, I'm talking about.
Oh, really? She might
not like fruit pies. I don't know. I'm not sure.
So I just want to be clear though. I do like apple pie.
Right.
Like a ton.
Right.
Apple pie's amazing.
Right. We also grew up in a time where, in your defense, where fruit came in cans and they were undistinguishable from its raw state.
Right. But I don't like berry pies, berry-based pies.
Yeah.
But I don't think I like berry-based anything. But it's not.
It's not the berry's fault.
I don't think it's the berry's fault.
It's not your fault.
I don't think it's the berry's fault. It's just too tart.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. That's what it is.
I like the idea.
Yes.
Of a blackberry pie or a raspberry pie. But then I see those raspberries and I see those blackberries and they're fuzzy. And then I start to
bite into them and they've got like little seeds.
Yeah, I start to fall out of love with this idea.
That's what I'm saying is that
cherry pie, get the fuck out of here. I hate cherries. I think cherries are the olives of the fruit world.
Whoa, I love olives.
I like... You can put olives on a sandwich. You can put olives on a pizza. And I don't notice. I like them. Okay. But I can't eat them by themselves.
Yeah. You have a lot of things around food. And some of them we've been able to pull you out of. But other things it's like, and me too, growing up, things came in a can. And you drained the liquid off and then you put them in the food, right? Yeah. Or cut them up or whatever it is. So mushrooms came that way. Green beans came that way. I didn't even know there was a produce section in the grocery store when I was a kid. Did not know that.
Those things still come that way. I think that the reason we had those when we were kids is because we were living in poverty.
Okay, sure. But that's what I'm saying is that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But yes, I didn't know there was a produce section in a grocery store.
The first time I ever tasted cauliflower, I was 24 years old working at a restaurant and the chef made me taste the cauliflower.
Yeah, and I remember you came home and you're like, did you know cauliflower tastes like peanuts?
Yeah.
Anyways, a peanut butter pie is what I ended up making.
So good.
A peanut butter pie.
So good.
And I made it completely vegan. So from the graham cracker crust with the melted vegan butter, and you push it real hard, and then you bake it for a little bit. And then I even used my good pie tin too. Right. And I was like, well, I have another dessert on hold in case this one fails, but I'm just going to try. I've been watching a lot of British baking show. Yeah. And Cameron was my hype man. And he's like, you can do it. You're doing great. And then you take peanut butter and you put tofuti cream cheese, which is the best vegan plant-based cream cheese out there. Yeah. I'm sorry. If you like a different kind, good. But this one's my jam. Yeah. And so I put a whole thing of cream cheese in it, and then I whipped it till it was really soft and creamy, and then powdered sugar. And then you mix more coconut whipped cream into it. Yeah. And it just makes a light, fluffy peanut butter cloud.
Like a mousse.
And and it is. It's technically a peanut butter mousse. Yeah. And so then I put that in the pie crust, and then I put more whipped cream on top of that. Right. And then I decorated it because since he was 5, I've been doing birthday themes.
Yeah.
And I used to have them pick a theme, but now I just like surprise theme.
Which I think is better.
Yeah. And so this year it was rock star because he's into this like heavy metal, rock metal.
He's in a lot of older bands.
He knows how to define it better than I do, but he loves anything from the 70s and 80s rock style. He loves it. So Def Leppard is his jam.
Yeah.
So I did his top 3 favorite bands.
Right.
Def Leppard, Tool, and Pink Floyd.
Yeah. Which is like,
100% good taste.
Yeah. I like Tool. Parabola, come on.
Yes, I too like the band known as Tool.
I do want to say something about the pie, though. I'm well known for my cakes, right?
Yes.
For making pancakes.
Pancakes, yes.
I'm cakes.
Yeah.
But I also am a little infamous for the peanut butter pie that I used to make for the KFC buffet back in the day where we were both working at KFC and where we met.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone would come in and be like, "You guys got that peanut butter pie on the buffet?" And we'd be like, "No, it's only, X, Y, and Z."
Sundays usually.
Right, but it was very much sought after.
Yeah.
Internally and externally at the business.
Yeah.
The secret was I used way too much peanut butter.
Yeah, and our boss got pretty steamed about it.
Because it's expensive.
Yeah. But I was like, before I put it out there, will you sneak me a piece?
Yeah. But I will say, I'm putting all of my fame and ego aside. Your peanut butter mousse pie blew my pie out of the water. It is the single best pie I've ever tasted in my life.
Awesome. That's cool.
The best pie.
Okay. Well, anyways.
I would forsake everything.
What?
To have even just one more slice of that pie. It is the best pie.
Well, that's nice. He really liked it.
Yes.
So
it was a hit with everybody, actually.
Yeah.
Even Fred, right?
Even the little Lynn.
And it also came out perfect. Like when you cut that first slice and you lifted it out, I thought, okay, usually vegan stuff kind of falls apart because it doesn't really have, but it was just like boom, and it was perfect slice.
Yeah. And so I made kid number 3 laugh a lot because I did British baking.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, I don't know if this is going to turn out, or talking to it. Come on out, come on.
Yeah.
And then I was like, and it's got, 3 even layers. And it was fun. Yeah. And his main birthday wish for me this year, which I thought was kind of sweet, was that he's like, I don't want you to do anything unless you do it when you're not stressed. Yeah. I just don't want you stressed out.
Right.
Because usually I'm the drama queen about, I don't know if they like it or if they like me or what's happening.
You get very stressed on birthday day.
Yeah.
And so I've been like trying to encourage you to like, don't try to do a bunch of stuff on the day.
Yeah.
Try to get stuff done the day before that you need to get done. And then that way on the day, you just have to like put stuff into motion and you're done.
Yeah.
And you don't have to stress out about it. And you've been really good about doing that the last couple of birthdays.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important that you do that, right? So that you keep yourself.
Yeah. I never
sane.
had good birthdays. And so I want you guys.
Go way out of your way to make the birthdays around here special.
Yeah. No matter, like, to the detriment of my own sanity.
I know
what is that about?
I know that immediately after Liam's party ended, you immediately went into planning Fred's.
So?
And hers is next, and it's months away.
Okay, but it's important.
I know it's important. It's very important.
To be a good mama.
You are a good mama.
Okay, good. Yeah, okay. This grocery thing, man. Jeez.
I don't want to talk about it.
I'm so stressed out about the grocery.
It's getting really bad. Like more people are doing pickup again.
Yeah,
and so like it's delayed every time, and then there's a bunch of stuff missing.
Has started.
Yeah. And Delta variant is picking up, so more people are picking up, and it's just like here's the thing. I went to pick up today. We're switching off now.
It was your day to go pick up groceries.
It was my day to go pick up.
They call me at 7:30 and they go, your order for 9:00 a.m. isn't going to be ready until noon.
Yeah. So I go down there. I have zero contact with any other human being. The closest I get to another human being is the person who brings the groceries out, masked, and they stand at the back of the car. They don't even talk into the car. They just go, here's the paper, sorry. And I take the paper and then they load the groceries, close the door, and I leave.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a mask the whole time. They're wearing a mask the whole time.
You sanitize right after.
We are literally outdoors. Yeah. I haven't touched anything. I still sanitize. Mm-hmm. But then for the rest of the day, I'm like trying to think, did I do anything that could have possibly put me into harm's way? Like I'm so paranoid about other people now. And I know that this isn't healthy. Yeah. But I also don't know any other way to keep myself sane and safe. Yeah. Other than to be avoiding it. And I don't want to take the next step where it's like never leave the house ever. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. Because that I know could quickly turn into agoraphobia for me, where I will never want to leave again.
But that's what we've made our kids do, is to not leave the house at all.
Well, they don't have anything to go do anyways.
That's what I'm saying. But even if they
wanted to,
yeah, which I'm sure they do want to. At this point, no.
We've been on a legitimate lockdown as a family.
Quarantined.
The only time that we go anywhere is to pick up groceries.
And it's always masked and distanced and sanitized.
Well, in the beginning, we were going into the store and using self-checkout, and we were just going as fast as we could.
It just got to be too much.
But it got to be really stressful. And so then we decided, okay, we're going to try pickup. Mm-hmm. So we started doing pickup, and now we've been doing that ever since.
And sometimes it's a booyah, and then other times it's like, what the fuck?
I know. And for you, it's hard because you lose a little bit of the control of like, okay, well, they didn't have oat milk, but I can just get rice milk instead, as an option. But you can't count on them to know what's an acceptable substitution.
Yeah. And we have dietary concerns at this point. And I don't want it's bad enough having someone else other than me pick our produce. Right. Someone else other than me picking a substitution just is lunacy.
Yeah, it's bad.
So I think that I found a way around some things. So,
the dry goods stuff.
Yeah. So they were out of oatmeal for and that's the only thing kid number 4 will eat is oatmeal for breakfast in the mornings.
Just for breakfast?
Yes.
He eats other things.
No, she does. She eats other things, but for breakfast.
4. You said 4. I thought you said 3.
For breakfast, she only wants oatmeal. Right. They have been out of oatmeal for 3 weeks. And so our supply, and I stock up, our supply has been dwindling. Yeah. We were down to the last box. And yet again, no oatmeal. And I was just like, man. And then I look at the Kroger app and it's got 3 different categories. It's like in-store, pickup, or ship. And I was like, And so I looked into it further. You can get a lot of things shipped directly to your house. Yeah. And thankfully where we live, the warehouse is just in Kentucky, which is just right there. Right. You can see it. Then in 2 to 3 days, you can have 8 boxes of oatmeal on your shelf. And then,
that makes you feel better.
Yes. Coming from where I come from and me being who I am, I'm thinking about getting through the winter now. Yeah. I got through the summer. I got the whole family through the summer, most of it. So now I'm thinking about getting us through the winter.
We should stock up on rice and beans again in case we get snowed in again.
We already are. Oh, and so we already are stocked up on that. So there's lots of things like cereal, oatmeal, most of the dry goods kind of thing.
That has long shelf life, yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm just having that stuff shipped. And that way, if anything, crazy, at least I can fall back on knowing that I'm okay and stocked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was a booyah moment for me.
Yeah, I'm glad you figured that out.
This week.
The whole grocery shopping thing.
I didn't even go today, and my stomach is still in knots about just,
Yeah, it's just causing a lot of stress, right?
Yeah, and then it's only the second week of public school, back to school, and and then so many kids are sick now. All of a sudden, people are sending their kids with positives, and I'm like, it's just so everything's a mess out there, and I can just feel it. I can just feel everyone's just so...
It's awful. It's awful. I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
I know. It's really sad.
Let's talk about the auction. It's over.
Yay, it's
and
over.
And everything's shipped out.
It's so great now.
Except for the stuff that didn't sell or got canceled.
Yeah, but you've done a really creative thing this time for that section.
Yeah, I put a list of the games on my team's chat at work and said, hey, anybody want these games? Just pay me shipping and I'll get them out to you.
Yeah, which I thought was very nice and very clever. Like, yeah.
And so 2 of my coworkers took me up on the offer. And so 4 more of the games that didn't sell are leaving the house. They're actually printed and ready to go right now. I'm gonna actually ask USPS to come pick them up.
Yeah.
And then those will be on their way. And then we have 17 games.
Yeah.
Although a lot of those I've added to the pile since the auction by playing them and deciding, okay, we don't want to keep these games. Or another thing that I figured out how to do is reading the rule book. If the rule book makes me go, I just go, I'm not even going to try to play this.
Yeah.
Right. Like this could be the best game in the world, but the rule book is so frustrating.
Yeah.
I don't have time for it.
Yeah. And it's just, at this point, you're going to take a loss anyways.
Yeah.
So you might as well like
get it in the hands of people who are going to enjoy it. Who do want to
play it. Yeah. And who might like it and you know, spread the good.
Yeah. But yeah, so now I'm also very much on a strict, if I want a new game, I have to read the rule book first before I can buy that game.
Yeah.
Because that really does help me at this point in my career of board gaming.
Yeah.
I can read a rule book and know I'm not going to enjoy playing that game.
Or someone else,
right.
other people around you.
Right.
Your group.
I'm not going to get this to the table. Nobody will play this with me.
Right, exactly.
And so I'm only buying expansions for games I'm keeping forever. Or if I do buy a new game, I know that I have to get rid of another game to fit it. And I have to be sure that the rule book is a game that I want to play. And I've only made one exception to that rule since I made that rule.
You've already put in clauses. I like it.
No, it's not a clause. It's just a single exception to the rule because I had to have it, but I'm not sure
if you're going to like it.
No, I think I'm going to like it.
Oh.
I don't know if other people are going to like it in the family.
I see.
I hope other people like it, but if you don't.
We did over 50 boxes. Right? 40. Yeah. It was about 50.
Well, 50 if you count the two coworker ones. Yeah. So that's 50 total.
We did really good.
Yeah.
And
we reclaimed the floor in here.
Yeah. We worked mostly as a team.
I was able to reset up my crokinole board.
Yeah. There was no blood. There was very little tears. Everything's great.
Yeah, there was only a little bit of tears in the very beginning before we figured out the flow of how things were going to go.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we did great.
I think we did a good job. And I think we can do another one after we get through the list of games that I'm playing with Cameron to decide to keep or not. And then we can do one more auction. And then I think we'll be at a place where it's like, now we can go through and arrange the board games by color or some fun thing to do with them.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I look over here and, we could put all the yellow ones together and put all the orange ones together.
What might be fun is just you go from one end to the other and you just play every single thing. Like this weekend is this one and it's already chosen for you.
Oh, yeah, that might be cool.
So is that a good segue for our topic this week?
It is. Do you want to get into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Right after this ad.
Do. Hey, what's that?
This?
Yeah.
It's the top of the line, babe.
Top of the line?
Top of the line surge protector.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
It's 2,880 joules.
Joules, huh?
Yeah, joules.
That's a lot of joules.
Well, you know what joules mean?
What?
More protection.
Oh, I see. How many things can you plug in there?
Around 12.
12.
Around 12 things.
Wow. But can you plug in those big chunky things?
Yeah, there are 4 slots on this bad boy.
For the big chunky ones?
For the big chunky boys.
Ah.
And this is #1 rated, top of the line, Trip Light Surge Protector.
Wow.
They cover you up to $150,000 in damage.
If it malfunctions.
If it does some shit, yeah. Like if it fries into your stuff.
Dude, where can you get it?
I bought this one on Amazon.
Oh, boy.
But, it's lifetime guaranteed, 12 outlets, safety covers. It's got an 8-foot cord, which for our metric friends, that's 2.5 meters.
Whoa.
Yeah,
that seems longer than most surge protectors.
It's a longer cord, yeah, and it's got one of those weird right angle cords so that you could put it into the top.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So then it leaves the other outlet
the bottom outlet open, so you could put in another one of these and run 2 of these bad boys off one outlet. Now you got 24 outlets out of 2 outlets, and that's going to be, somewhere in the neighborhood of 8,000 joules.
God damn, that's great.
No, not 8,000.
It's close. It's something.
That's not even close at all. 28 and 28 is not even close to 8,000. This is why I'm bad at stocks games. Yeah, so I really just
thought... Top of the line, huh?
It is top of the line. And I just thought, I was buying a copy of Night of the Comet. I needed a new...
Fantastic movie from 1980.
1984.
Oh, shit,
and
my bad.
It is a fantastic movie. It's just supposed to be kind of dumb, but I thought I need a new surge protector because my new job has brought with it a new computer, and so now I have another monitor. So I now have extra plugs and stuff, and
it's like the Matrix back there.
It's starting to get out of control, and I was like, well,
code everywhere.
I'm going to go online and I'm going to Google #1 rated top of the line surge protector, and it comes back. It's a brand I've never heard of.
Protect it.
Trip Light. Well, it's Trip Light, right?
Oh, I get it.
But this comes back and I'm like, huh. And so I read some reviews about it. Guys are like, it's bad. Ass. You should get it for sure. Here's a link on Amazon. And so I went over to Amazon and it's got like 5,000 5-star reviews.
Nifty.
And I'm like, well, that's the one. That's the guy. That's the baby. And I brought her on home. So Trip Light.
Congratulations.
#1. It's the #1 surge protector. Go out and get one today. All right, are you ready to get down to it?
Yeah.
Get down to it. I feel like that's a song. Is that a song?
It is now.
Get down to it. It sounds like in my head, it's like get down to it. I don't think that's a song though. Okay. So this week we're talking about a board game again because that's part of our lives.
Yay.
What is the name of the board game that we're talking about this week?
Sagani.
Sagani, not Sigourney.
No, Sagani. Sagani. It's a board game.
Wow. Is it made of cardboard and wood?
Yes, it's very fancy. You can get it at philibertnet.com, which is in France, so the shipping might be crazy.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't.
So we looked it up. You can also get it on Amazon.
Yeah.
If you're going to go that route, and it's about $46.50.
Yeah. It's a little bit less expensive on Philibert, but
it's a really cute game.
It's a little bit less expensive on Philibert, but the shipping cost is pretty crazy because it's coming from France.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do that, it would be a situation where you're going to order a lot of games.
Yeah. Or if you're in France,
I don't know that anybody listens to us from France, but maybe.
You just never know. If you are in France or are going to France for some wild reason, get you a Sagani. It's a good game.
I feel like people in France.
Do they play board games?
No. I think that Sagani's like their Cool Stuff Inc. or their miniature market. Like I think
you mean Philibert?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sagani's the game. Philibertnet, I think, is their miniature market or their Cool Stuff Inc. So I don't think like people in France would immediately go to Philibert and look.
Oh, okay.
I use Philibert because while the shipping's a little bit high, the games always arrive on my doorstep within 2 days, perfectly packed.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it. It's coming from France to Tennessee. It's ridiculous, but every time.
Yeah.
2 days.
And they're always like very well packaged and very well taken care of. But we get things from Kentucky, which is just like right there.
Yeah.
And it's busted to hell. So, anyways.
Almost every board game I order not from Philibert comes with some sort of a smushed corner or dented in box or something, which drives me a little crazy. Not that I am like super anal about it. It's just that I'm spending money.
Right.
I want something to be new. If I'm buying it new, I want it to be new. If I buy it like new or used, I expect it to maybe be a little beat up.
Yeah.
But if it's brand new and shrink, I want it to be brand new.
Yeah.
And so it bothers me a little bit because I'm spending my money.
Yeah.
Right?
Hard-earned money. Yes.
It is. I feel like it's hard-earned money. So just real quick before we get started on talking about the game itself, this is published by Eagle Griffin Games, which is an American publishing company. So this game will be readily available. You don't necessarily have to go to France, but if you want it now,
But if you're in France and you're eating all that patisserie and
what are you talking about?
It's good. You should get a game too while you're there. You know what I mean?
What is patisserie?
It's pastry. Like the American version is the dumbed down pastries. But if you're in France, it's patisserie and you go to a sweet shop and you just load up.
I think one of our viewers who speaks French will tell us that is the incorrect pronunciation.
Okay, well,
I've
been watching a lot of British baking show with our number 3 kid, and we are just
maybe it is patisserie. I don't know. That doesn't
That's what
sound.
They keep saying is
that
patisserie.
Doesn't sound French to me.
Well, it doesn't. I don't know.
You know, French has like kind of a sound to it, like a. For me, like languages aren't. So, I don't understand most languages, like, you know, the actual words and stuff.
Yeah.
But to me, certain languages have a musicality to them. Mm-hmm. So when I hear them, I hear the beat of the language, not necessarily the words.
Okay, sure, but I wasn't born in France, so you know, I'm saying it with my dumb Midwestern whatever.
You're dumb. You stupid dumb.
You know, I've got this thing, don't you know? And it's just a thing, and they're eating lots of patisseries, and I'm not, and that makes me sad.
I love patisseries.
Yeah, me too. Anyways,
so this game is real quick is a spiritual successor to a previous Uwe Rosenberg game, and Uwe Rosenberg might sound familiar to some folks that are board game enthusiasts because he designed very popular games like Agricola.
Oh yeah.
And Caverna.
See, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, don't you?
Or at Labora, Le Havre, like a lot of he's designed a lot of games, and so this is a lighter game compared to what he normally designs. Mm-hmm. But the original game was called Nova Luna, and recently, if you pay attention to these things, he's been going through this period of like this puzzly, like building puzzle games, and Nova Luna was similar to this, but it really didn't have a theme. It was just, you know, abstract tiles with whatever. Whereas this one has a cool theme, if you want to tell us about it.
So it's for 1 to 4 players. I've only played it 2 players, but I've played it 3 times now.
Yeah.
And
you've won all 3 times.
Not egotistically, I've beaten you.
Yep.
All 3 times. Now, this says on the side of the box that it takes 45 minutes. I'd say yes for your first game, but no for your second and third and subsequent games.
Yeah,
I think once you pick
faster.
it up, it goes fast.
Once you understand the flow of the game, the only thing that really slows you down is like testing a piece. Like, oh, is this going to work on my board? No, damn it. What's the better piece to take? Mm-hmm. But otherwise, it's pretty snappy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so the rule book here, it's got all the little... They're like cute little elemental creatures.
Yeah, spirits.
And when I say cute, I don't mean like cutesy cute. I mean like spooky cute, if you're into that kind of thing.
They're adorable in like a Halloween-y way.
Yeah. And it's illustrated by Lucas Simon. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Is it Simone?
Siegmon.
Oh, no, I don't know.
Simon. I'm going to go with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want me to read the flavor on here?
Yes.
Okay. So it says, welcome to Sagani, where achieving harmony between the natural elements of earth, water, air, and fire is the central goal of the spirits that populate this world. These spirits spend most of their time in their vessel-like dwellings, but when the elements are put in balance, the spirits emerge from their vessels and show themselves in their full form. Each spirit embodies one of the 4 elements and influences the harmony between them. In Sagani, as you and your opponents create this colorful, harmonious world by employing your sound discs, the spirits become fully visible. Every spirit that shows itself also brings you a step closer to victory. And Sagani, a little side note here, is the name that the Swiss doctor and naturalist, philosopher Paracelsus gave to the nature spirits in his work De Meteoris in 1569. So that's where they're getting the name Sagani from.
1569, that's mad old school, yo.
You thought I was old.
So I'll go over the mechanics really quick.
Yes,
so
please.
basically it's a tile selection game. You're going to choose from 1 to 5 tiles that are out there. The tiles only refill after all of the tiles of those 5 have been taken. The tiles range from 1 to 10 points, so 1, 3, 6, and 10 points. And the point value directly affects how complex the tile is to solve. So you're going to take a tile, you're going to place it in front of you, and then you're going to put a number of discs on the tile equal to the number of arrows shown on the tile. And so if you have a 1 point tile, it's going to be 1 arrow. But if you have a 10 point tile, it'll be 4 arrows. Yeah. 4 arrows is the maximum. 1 arrow is the minimum.
And all the arrows are the different elements too. Yes. So on a 1 tile, if it's a red fire element, it'll have 1 little flamey arrow.
Right.
And then if it's a 10, which is problematic sometimes if it's not like in your opening hand or whatever, it's got 4 arrows, and then so 2 of them could be flames and then 2 of them can be blue, and they're directional. Yeah. So then you place, go ahead. You're doing good.
Yeah. And so the 10 tiles, like you said just now, they really want to be central. They don't work real well on the edge of the play area. Yeah. But you take a tile, your first tile you're going to just take and you're going to put sound discs on it, and then your turn's over. The next tile and each tile beyond that you're going to take, and you need to place it orthogonally, that's top, right, left, or top, bottom, left, or right, to any tile that's currently on the board. Then you're going to look and see, are these arrows pointing to a tile that matches the color of the arrow?
Yeah, the element, right?
So if I'm holding a fire 10 right now, and it's got 4 arrows on it. 2 of them are forest arrows, and 2 of them are earth arrows, and 2 of them are fire arrows. So if I place this down and then I put my 4 discs on it, because 4 arrows, and then the next tile I take is also an orange tile, I can place that above the existing tile, and then I would be able to cover that arrow because now that is pointing.
That's pointing to a fire elemental tile.
The cool thing is, though, is that they don't have to be directly adjacent to match.
That's nice.
Yeah. So you could have an orange tile 15 other, that's exaggerative, but 15 other tiles away,
easily,
and it still matches up if it's in the same direction of the arrow.
Yeah.
So which makes it a little more flexible, puzzly. But I have found that I suck terribly at this game, but also that it's not as easy as it sounds to line these arrows up.
No. Maybe in like the very beginning, you're like, ooh, I see it. But then as you get farther and farther and farther, it is, and then, depending on what's available, like you choosing 1 tile out of 5, and then after I choose, then you choose, and now you only have 4.
Yeah. So there's an element of luck there.
Yeah, exactly.
And so then after you've covered all of the arrows on a single tile, you get to take those discs back to your supply.
Limited supply.
Yes. And then you flip over the tile and score it immediately. So if you've covered 2 arrows, that's a 3 tile. So you'd flip it over and score 3 points. And the front of the tile with the arrows has a little like vessel, like a bottle of some sort. And when you flip it over, then it's the released spirit.
It's the little released creature.
And you score those points immediately.
It's cute.
If at any time you play a tile into your area and you do not have enough discs to put onto the tile, you need, like if you take a 6 pointer, you have 3 arrows to cover. If you only have 2 discs, you're going to have to take a red cacophony disc. And what that does is it just gives you a -2 points immediately. You keep that disc for the rest of the game. It just becomes a new disc, but you go backwards on the point track, and it can really hurt you. And I've played the game 5 times, and in 4 of those games, I've had to take cacophony discs. I don't know what happened in the first game. I was really good at this game in the first game,
until kid number 3 figured it out.
Yeah, he blew me away, and then you blew me away 3 times.
I only had to take, out of the 3 games that I did play, I only had to take 1 red disc.
Yeah, I'm averaging about 8 red discs a game. Here's the thing, though. I'm terrible at this game, but I enjoy playing it because it is a hard puzzle that I'm clearly not being able to figure out. And so it keeps me wanting to play it some more.
Yeah. And also the element of you don't have the opportunity to mess up mine very easily, other than taking from the limit, the 5 tiles out at a time.
Yeah, the only real interaction that you have with the other player is you can take a tile that's really perfect for them. And if you're paying attention to their thing, you can maybe figure that out. I personally can't do that. I'm just taking tiles that I think work best for me.
I don't look until you've already chosen. And then I go, okay, what's the next right thing for me right now?
Yeah.
I don't like plan that far ahead with this type of game. With other kind of resource management and other kind of like, if it's one board and we're both playing off of that, then you have to pay attention to what's happening.
Yeah.
But when we each have our own space and our own puzzle that we're building, I really don't look until you've chosen, because then I don't have that opportunity to get mad. Right.
So I guess that would be something that some folks might not like about the game is that it's kind of a solitary game, puzzle game. You don't really have much interaction with the other player. The scores can be close, but they typically aren't. It's usually one person breaks away and then the other person is...
Well, but we're usually close all the way up until like the last third, I think.
Yeah, maybe. I always had really low scores in it. The only other real mechanic in the game is that if you go to choose a tile on your turn and there's only one tile left in the offer, and it starts off with 5 tiles. So in a 2-player game, we'd each get to take 2 tiles before somebody has to make that decision. But if there's only one tile left, you can either take that tile and use it in your board as normal, or you can decide to discard that tile to the intermezzo space and take the top tile off the stack. You don't know what that tile is going to have on it in terms of arrows. You just know what the point value is.
And the element. Yeah.
Because the backs of the tiles, right? So if it has a 3, okay, well, it's going to have 2 arrows on it, but I don't know which direction they're pointing or what the elements are.
It's a little bit of a gamble.
It sometimes pays off big, sometimes it's not. I would say that it's almost like an automatic, like if there's a 3 on the stack and there's a 10 on offer and you've got 2 discs, you're going to take the 3, right?
Right.
Because even if it's not great for you, because the 10 is going to give you cacophony discs. So you put it in the intermezzo, and then once 4 tiles collect there, you pause the game for a second, and in reverse turn order, or not turn order, but in reverse score order, so whoever has the lowest score gets to choose one of those tiles to add, and then the next player and the next player, so on and so forth. If no one takes a tile, then they all 4 get discarded and you start that intermezzo over. In a 2-player game, if we both take a tile, then there's still going to be 2 tiles there and the intermezzo happens again sooner. But in all of the games that I've played, and that you and I played together, one time the intermezzo would fire, maybe one time a game.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much that really plays into it. And I don't know that it gives you much of a strategic advantage to be able to do so. But, overall. And so the game ends in a 2-player game, for instance, at whoever gets 75 points, the game will immediately end, except for, if the first player ends the game, the second player gets one more turn. If the second player ends the game's just over because it's an equal amount of turns.
Yeah.
But that's really it. That's the whole game. And it just really comes down to trying to get 75 points before the other players. You average around 80 points in the games that we've played, and I'm averaging around 60. But what do you think? What do you think of the game overall?
Okay. So overall the theme has me because it's creepy cute, which I like.
Right. And at first you were just like going off the art, but then when I read you that flavor, you kind of unlocked a little bit more and you're like, ooh, I really like this now.
Yeah. You're freeing little spirit friends or whatever, which I guess that's, a specific, flair that some people might not like. But, if you're a spooky cookie like me and, you know, a couple of my kids, then you'll like it.
Yeah. And it's also got a kind of a interesting puzzliness to it where it kind of makes you want to cry a little bit.
Yeah. The second game, I was like, okay, I won the first one, but then the second one's always a toss up because then you learn like certain things and then you go. Time. So I started getting really heated because I was going to have to take a red disc. Yeah. So I was going to go back 2 points, even though I was like 6 or 7 points ahead anyways. Yeah. But I was like, oh, I messed up. I'm the dumbest. What's happening to me?
Yeah.
And so my temperature started to rise, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna throw up. And so it was like a dramatic moment for a second, and then I was like, wait. 1, it's just a game. Yeah. 2, he'll still love me afterwards. 3, just make the next right decision. If that means you have to take a red disc, then you have to take a red disc. It's gonna be. It
also probably helped that at the point when you had to take a red disc, you looked up and saw I already had 5 red discs. so that had to have made you feel a little bit better about that decision, right?
No, not exactly. I just there's an element to no matter what I do, I don't want to feel dumb. Right. Even if it's just to myself. If I go, oh man, what did I do that for? Yeah. Then I can beat myself up for the next 5 years. I don't want that. I'm trying to get rid of that.
Whereas I'm like the opposite. I enjoy feeling dumb because it makes me feel more normal. Which is that's coming across conceited, but I don't walk around feeling dumb that often.
Yeah.
But when something makes me feel dumb, I go, huh? Wait a minute. I need to explore you more. Yeah. Right. Like it captures my interest. Right. Whereas most things, I think that's why board games appeal to me so much is because like they just make me feel dumb a lot of times. Right.
Yeah.
And I know that you don't like that. Cameron does not like to feel dumb either in playing games.
Yeah.
I don't think Liam does either. Maybe not even Bryce. I might be the only one who likes it. But I do. I like I played a different game, an unpublished game with the designer on Tabletop Simulator last night. Thank you very much for allowing me to do that. But it was a stocks-based cube rails game, right? So you build, it's like a train game, but it's, cube rails are typically shorter and less complex, but they still have this stock aspect of like, oh, I have 2 stocks of Alton, and if I do just the right move, I can get that to pay out $25 a stock. Mm-hmm.
I do not have the brain for that one.
Me neither. I suck at those. I cannot wrap my head around the stock markets in games. Yeah. But for some reason, I'm just like, oh, does that have a stock market in it? I want to play that.
No.
Please allow me to embarrass myself in front of you.
Is that a stock market? No thanks. I'm not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole.
I think that there are some games where the stock market is weird. It's like too much. There are other games like the Cubero games that it tends to be more abstracted, kind of just like, oh, there's 4 green cards. And if you own one of those green cards, when this happens, you get some money. If you don't own those green cards, then you don't get any money. And you can place green cubes if you have the green cards, right?
Yeah.
It's more abstracted like that, but I still don't understand how to evaluate what those are actually worth, right? Yeah. And so they go, okay, we're going to auction off a green share. And I'm like, $2,000. Like, I don't know, like, right? I don't understand how much it's worth or what's a good number to go in. And I made a huge mistake in the beginning of that one last night. But I do like games that make me feel like I'm not smart, right? Like I don't understand because it makes me want to figure it out. And this game is like that. It's a light game, right? It's a light game. Most people would go, whatever. This has 5 plays in it. It's too samey or whatever the, arguments are about it. But I don't think so. It plays different every time because of the way that they randomly come out in different colors and different values.
Yeah.
And so it's never the same puzzle. You can't go, well, you always start the game with the 10 for sure.
Right.
Because,
there might not be 10 in the pile.
Right. Or if you get a 10, right, that. But also if you get a 10 that has north, south, east, and west arrows, start it with that because now that's a perfect center tile.
Yeah.
But if you get one of the ones that has, all three of the arrows pointing up and 1 arrow to the left, that's maybe not the best tile to start with. And it also then depends on what other tiles are on the offer because if you take a tile that wants 2 green and 2 orange, and there's only blue and white, you're like, well, that's not going to do me any good at all.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But so, I don't, maybe someday I'll figure it out if we play it enough. I think the cool part about it is I keep wanting to play it, right? Like,
so I played it 3 times in a row with you the other day. And then last night when you were playing a game, I was like, I just want to play Sagani again. And that's a rarity in this house when I say, I just want to play that game again.
Yeah, when you say I want to play the game, that's super rare. That's like a mythic rare. That's like a mythic rare foil chaser.
That's like a plus 10.
Yeah.
You know?
What?
I feel like a plus 10 around here. 9 or 15 too. All right.
Are you saying because you don't understand what I was just talking about?
Yeah, I have no clue.
Oh, okay. It's Magic the Gathering rarities.
Well, I got that it was Magic the Gathering. I know enough that I know that, but other than that, you could have just, zeros and ones. Like that's
Right.
I don't know what that means.
6, 7, 8, 9er.
Niner, score.
So that answers the question. Would you?
I do like it, and like on a scale of to oh yes please, sure. It's a sure.
Your fucking rating scale. I love it. So I rated the game. So I rate games between 4, which is awful.
You do it in a much smarter way than me. Go ahead.
Between 4, which is just awful, get the fuck out of here, and 8, which is this is a favorite game.
Okay, wait. Your scale only goes up to 8?
Yeah, 4 to 8. And so now the reason why that is because I don't believe anything is ever. Let me back up. Board Game Geek's rating system is 1 to 10. I don't believe any game is a 1 because a 1 is like, this is garbage. It shouldn't have been printed. I don't think that that's true of any game. There might be games that I just dislike.
Yeah.
So I made my scale go from 4 to 8. 8 is a favorite game. It will never leave my collection. I would play it anytime someone asks. Very few games receive an 8, right? A 7 is a game that I should clarify. 6s and 7s go back and forth a lot after I play more. Like sometimes I'll go, ooh, this is a 7, and then it'll end up a 6 or a 5 or stay a 7, or sometimes in rare instances might go up to an 8, right? But a 4 is just, why did I buy this? I'm an idiot. This is not fun to play. Nobody else wants to play this. A 5 is whatever. Like I don't care if I own this or not. A 6 is just the middle of the road, right? Like, yeah, no, I'll play this. I can own this. This is fine. A 7 is like, oh, I'm super glad I bought this.
Right.
Right. And then 8 is a favorite.
Okay.
And so I've rated this a 7.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, because I am super glad I bought it. Even though technically I got it for free because of a coupon situation that happened for me. But yeah, I do use 9s in 2 cases just to set them apart because
yes,
all times. Yeah.
So 9s you would say from a fire.
Yes.
or the house was, an apocalyptic situation, you would save 9s.
Yeah, if there was a situation where I had to save something, I would grab 2 games and run.
Okay, what are those 2 games?
Terra Mystica, Age of Steam.
Terra Mystica.
Yeah.
And Age of Steam.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I could play those 2 games and no other games for the rest of my life and be satisfied.
Interesting.
8s I would rebuy in a catastrophic situation.
Yeah.
7s I would consider. Anything below a 7 I would just ignore and not worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then there you go.
I know it's a weird scale, but I've thought a lot about it, and I really wanted it to fit inside of BGG scale so that when I rate things, I don't like really fuck up the overall rating for a game because I have a bad take on it, which I think a 1, which is the equivalent to my 4, a 1 does that in that system. Whereas a 4 doesn't really fuck that. It's kind of like agnostic to that system, but it fits in there and then I can still rate the games in here.
Yeah.
And I actually wrote on my profile why I do that and how I rate the games, just so that if folks come by and go, what the heck is going on here?
Yeah.
You know? And it's basically hate, dislike, indifferent, like, love, favorite. So anyways, save from a fire though, I like better. But yeah, so I give this.
I don't want to say as if. Yeah. Okay.
I like your rating scale better though.
Well, I mean, if it's like, okay, so think of another scale, like on the scale of the stock market and dressmaking to, spooky cute creatures or like something super cool and nerdy.
Yeah.
then, this is super cute, spooky. Like it's, it's up there. But like, it's not about dressmaking, and it's not about the stock market or, multiplying threes. Like, just get out of here, Twa.
Wait.
You know
What's
what I mean?
wrong with it's dividing in Twa? But
whatever.
Which is worse, because dividing in your head is way harder.
Yes.
Than multiplying.
Yes.
But not really. Because it's just subtraction.
Okay.
But listen. The dressmaking thing.
The dressmaking is a fantastic game.
It is a fantastic game, but also
I care about the system, not the mechanics.
No, I actually like the theme of it too.
Okay.
But it's fun. But
this is my personal scale.
I know, but why dressmaking is like? Why is that like a line for you? I wonder.
Because.
Is it because I assumed you would like it?
You were like,
and you
were so excited. You're like, and then you get to make a dress. And I'm
okay,
like,
but it wasn't like it wasn't a sexist or misogynistic thing. It was me going, isn't this so different than everything else?
Yeah, and I was just like, really?
I wasn't going, hey, you're a woman, you want to sew things?
No.
I was like...
The quilt one is the same way.
Oh,
The windmills or whatever, those are the same thing. Suburbia, where you're building a suburban, like, concrete jungle.
You hated Suburbia so much.
Anything with a year. 1880 something rather. It's annoying.
No.
It's annoying.
No.
1889.
No,
like, why?
No.
Everything has years. You know what I mean?
No, not everything. But yeah, the train games have a lot of years.
Taxis. What? That's the taxi game I was thinking of the other day. Like, just the theme of it is like...
Is that the taxi game you were thinking of?
What is happening?
You don't like the flower game?
Sealand, where it's tulips and
windmills? You don't like that one? I thought you liked that one.
Okay. I ended up liking it, but in the beginning I was just like, what is he thinking?
I'm drawn to themes.
No, I get that. But for me, it's like this game, Sagani or Small World or Azul or Samurais or Yido or it's
you like cool themes.
I live a boring, dull life. It's gotta like give me.
So you don't want to do taxes the game?
I know. I don't want to. I teach division. I don't want to divide by 3.
I remember I bought this game called Arkwright, and the game is about. It's really interesting mechanically, but it's basically about creating products. But the products that you can create in it are like T-shirts and forks. And I was telling you about it, and your eyes went so far back into your head. I think you blacked out, and I was like, okay, so no on that one, I guess.
And then when it's got like animal cruelty in it, just to have animal cruelty, that's a no for me, like a way no.
Yeah, like slaughterhouse or butcher or something like that. Yeah,
like Agricola or whatever.
Cabernet,
you can take that element, those tiles out of it.
Yeah, you can take
and it still plays fine and lovely, and you get to collect animals, and you're good.
Yeah, see, that's I think an important thing to understand about the games is in some games you can remove offensive pieces and the game does not fundamentally change.
Yeah.
Right. Every time we've played Caverna, we've turned the slaughterhouse over and just ignored that it existed in the game at all. Yeah. And no one has ever went, man, I sure wish I could have done that slaughterhouse move. Right.
Yeah. Or and there's another game, I forget which one, is like, you can feed your people with fish or beer. And I was like, just the principle of it. I'm not going to use any of the, I'm going to use just the beer. And then I fed my people and I won. So it's like, you don't need it. So those are no-brainer no's for me.
So that was Ora et Labora, and it was...
Sorry if anyone loves these games, they're not my thing.
It was whiskey, and you didn't feed your people. You were just making and selling it. So but you did win with that strategy completely.
No, you had to like pay a certain amount to give your people. Your workers or whatever.
No, I think I'm
confusing several games because I've played hundreds of them.
Yeah, well, it's been a long time since I played Ora et Labora. Maybe you do feed your people. No, I don't think you do. I can't remember for sure.
Just to give me a break.
But when I sometimes I'll buy a game and I'll go, oh, this she'll definitely be into this because it's so weird. But then you're like, that sounds stupid. And I go, oh, okay. And then other times you surprise me and I go, oh, okay. Yeah. That's weird that you think that's cool. I wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah. Well, I mean.
Well, it's also, good though. 25 years in, you're still surprising me, right?
Also, until recently, and even sometimes, we also have to, I can't play games during the day with you so much.
Yeah, Fred just doesn't want to leave us to play the game.
Kid number 4 doesn't really leave me alone. Yeah. And so then the only other choice is to play it after she goes to bed. And by that time, it's 9:30, 10 conked. O'clock.
Your brain's done.
My brain, it has been boiled and, you know.
We have had a couple of times.
I need a cocktail.
Where you've been able to successfully play a board game with me like early in the morning on the weekend.
While I'm still drinking my coffee. Like that's prime time. That's like prime time, brain go time.
Yeah, we played Age of Steam together on a weekend morning. And it went so well that you actually said, oh, I'll play that again.
Yeah.
Which was very surprising to me because I thought for sure you'd be like, that is the most dumbest game.
And the cool one lately has been Blood Rage. Is that what it is? Oh, yeah,
Blood Rage. Yeah, that's still downstairs because you like it.
Yeah, I'm all in for that one.
Well, we just got the mat, so we should play it again.
All right.
We get the big old mat now.
Sounds cool. I won that twice.
Yes.
I lost the third one to kid number 1. Yeah. So.
Yeah, he excels at those kinds of games.
He's great. But he's just like, you know, and up front, I have to say, you know, I'm not your mom and you're not my kid. So just like, you know, come at me, right?
You get super hyped in those more competitive, combative games.
Because I know what's going to happen. I know that, especially with him, he's going to go, well, it's in the rules, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So I have to put that clear division.
Right.
Not for him necessarily, but for myself.
For yourself also.
I'd be like, it's fine. Just attack me. Just go ahead. Yeah. I'll see you in Valhalla.
All right. We are terrible at reviewing games. We're so far off the... So, Sagani.
It's great.
Uwe Rosenberg.
Buy it today.
I do think it is. I think it's a game that
couples
fits in collections, as long as like the theme is not too weird for you. But I tend to like weirder stuff, like
it's spooky,
you know,
cute, spooky.
We all know I like shipping in the Mediterranean and logistics puzzles, but I also really like stuff that's just strange.
Yeah.
Right. Like I found out about this game Cosmic Frog, which we should do an episode about.
Anything with frogs, and you got me. But like the Tigris Euphrates, come on, just
no, that one is so good.
Help me out.
Well, how come you keep pointing out amazing? You're like Tigris and Euphrates is dumb.
I'm not smart. I'm not that smart. But Bunny Kingdom, maybe I could do it.
Oh, would you play Bunny Kingdom?
Maybe. It's got a cute bunny.
It's adorable. It's a drafting game like Seven Wonders too. You might like it.
Yeah, I played Seven Wonders a lot before I had kid number 4 and blew my brains.
Yeah. Okay. So I like it. You like it. We're going to keep it and keep playing it, right?
Thank you.
Would you recommend other people like play the game at least, or would you say other people should buy this game?
Other people should play it, buy it.
Play it first?
Sure. Whatever.
I'm the kind of person who's like, oh, that looks weird. I'm going to buy it. And then I'll just sell it.
How do you play it first and then buy it?
I don't know if you can with this one, but if like you know somebody who owns it or something.
Oh, I get it. I get it. Yeah, it's. I haven't played it more than 2 players.
Yeah, I guess you can't like rent them.
I haven't played it more than 2 players, so it might be harder the more players you add to it. But
I think that it would.
I think it's a cute couples game.
I think it scales fine with more players. I think the only thing that you would really have to worry about is that there's still only going to be 5 tiles, regardless how many players there are. Mm-hmm. So with the 2-player game, we'll each choose 2 tiles off that offer. But in a 4-player game,
what do you do then?
We each get 1 tile, and then the first player gets to choose whether to ditch that 5th tile or not. Right?
Okay. Yeah, it's a cute couples game.
Yeah. I think it's better. Yeah, I think it's a good 2-player game.
Because you don't want to get a sour taste in your mouth when you're playing games, especially with people you have to live with.
That's a good point. Is I don't think games should make you feel bad. Like, what's the point of playing them?
Yeah.
Now, there's a difference between a game feeling shitty and a game being shitty because it's supposed to be, and everybody's on board and understands, okay, this is like Blood Rage.
Yeah.
Blood Rage is a little shitty.
Yeah.
But we all go into that knowing that this is going to be a little shitty. Yeah. Whereas this game, not really shitty.
No.
But if it felt shitty, that'd probably be a bad thing. It doesn't feel shitty though. I like it. I'm going to keep it on the shelf.
Yay. And
so that's it on Sagani. I rated it a 7. You rated a sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you for listening, and I love you.
I love you too.
If you enjoyed this episode of the Lou and Me podcast, subscribe on iTunes, YouTube, or Spotify.
And follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Lou and Me Podcast.
Lou and Me is a Matthiasaurus production, produced and edited by Moose. The song is No Carpets by the New Forevers, hosted by Lou and me.
Thanks for listening.